guys? Hi. Happy Thursday. I'm out in Quigley Canyon walking today, and it's gonna be a little different life. This is totally unplanned, and I wanted to come on here right now because I was having like a major download and reflecting on something really cool. Something that I really had a lot of resistance to because I was stuck in the how that I was going to get there versus the why and the big intention. Have you guys ever felt that way? Like you get paralyzed and you get all this resistance because you start forward thinking into how it's going to actually happen. And so you just stop yourself. Well, lucky for me, I have a really good friend and now is my co-host of the thing I was resisting the most. Her name is Megan McCann, and she stood for me even through the resistance, right? And the reason I wanted to come on and talk to you about this is because, you know, even yesterday, and I was doing a live virtual retreat with, some women on an intensive, and this came up a lot. We were talking about how we really need to focus on the why, but we get caught in the how, or the mechanism of how it's going to get done. And it causes overwhelm, it causes frustration, and we get stuck back in that self-sabotage cycle because we don't complete it, and then we get down on ourselves. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but maybe you guys can let me know if you've ever felt that way. Before I tell you the story, first, my name's Jen. And if you don't know who I am, I like to be known as Jen the Generator. And I'm a mind ascension coach. And I actually just gave myself that title, although I don't know if I even love titles anymore. But anyway, I help women ascend into the highest version of themselves. And last year, October, my friend Megan and I were standing right about there. And she was walking and talking with me, and she gave me this crazy idea, and she's like, Jen, I want to start a podcast with you. I'm like, what? Excuse me, don't you know I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm running a business, I'm writing a book, I'm doing all these things. How am I supposed to show up for my family? How am I supposed to get all these things done? Like, I have this like total resistance. I'm like, how do you actually think this is going to happen? You know, how is this even possible? And I started getting into all the overwhelm of how it was going to happen, all the strategy, all the to-dos, right? All the checklists, all the things I had to do. And it literally shut me down when I was in that forward thinking, that how, the strategy of how it's going to get done. And so I finally had to get, and this is the thing, is like we have to get curious in that moment of like, why am I having this resistance? Like, why is this coming up for me? And what is my big intention to create in the world? And if my intention is to create, a powerful stand, if my intention is to create abundance, then there's no scarcity of time. There's no scarcity of money. There's no scarcity of love, right? And if that's truly who I be, then all I get to be is my next best behavior or the next best step. Instead of thinking about climbing to the top of that mountain today, which I'm still going to do, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about one step in front of the other. Just like with anything you're creating, getting out of the how, which is overwhelm, and getting into the why, which is your intention of what you want to create in the world. And when you can chunk it down and just what's my next best behavior, then it gets created. And so I shifted into the why. And when I shifted into the why and started doing the next best behavior, wouldn't you know, today, Megan and I have a podcast on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify called Soul Ascend Podcast. And we've recorded an entire season, and we're already booked for our second season. And had I not listened, had I stayed in the had I stayed in the overwhelm and the big task in front of me, instead of in my next best behavior, it would have never happened. It would have never happened. So what I want to ask you is, what do you want to create? And why do you keep stopping yourself? Do you keep stopping yourself because you're in the how and you get stuck in the mechanism? And how can you get back to your why and your intention? And what is the next best behavior or step you can take to get to the next level? Whether it be a mountain like that I'm about to hike, or whether it be maybe something big you're creating in your business or in your life or in your relationships or in your lifestyle or with your kids, or in your career, whatever that is. So I invite you to be curious about that, right? Curiosity is key. And let me know, I'm curious. Have you ever experienced that? Overwhelm, frustration, when the task in front of you just looks too big? I know I have, and it stopped me a lot, but I'm over that. All right, you guys, I hope this supported you, and I hope you decide to take a listen to our podcast. The trailer's on Apple and Spotify today, and then we drop 3 episodes at once on Monday, which is pretty exciting. And it's bold. It's super audacious and it's scaring the shit out of me because we're super transparent and talk about things that nobody really wants to talk about. So I hope you subscribe. I hope it opens something for you, and I hope it gives you a different perspective. It was very, very empowering for us to record and put out in the world. So I will put the link here. If you guys want to check it out, we'd appreciate it. We'd appreciate you subscribing and letting us know how you like it. All right, you guys, remember, next best behavior will always get you there.